The morning sun rose over the twin moons of Arath, casting golden light across the bustling interworld market. Rows of stalls stretched endlessly, some made of wood and cloth, others glowing with alien metals that shimmered with their own light. The air was filled with the mixed scents of roasted spices, metallic ozone, and something faintly floral that came from the alien trees nearby. At the center of it all walked two figures who drew every gaze. One wore shining armor, scarred from battles long past. The other's skin shimmered in hues that shifted like a nebula, eyes deep as starlight. Together they moved side by side, Sir Alaric, Knight of the Old Kingdom, and Zithara, Ambassador of the Lurkai. Their friendship was strange to most. Humans and Lurkai had only ended their century-long war 3 years ago, and many still bore the marks of distrust. But here they were, walking calmly, like two travelers at peace with the world. "Do all human markets smell this chaotic?" Zithara asked, her melodic voice vibrating through the air like a gentle hum. Her 3-fingered hands held a pouch of coins, unsure how to spend them. Alaric chuckled. "This isn't a human market, my friend. This is Arath. You can buy anything here, from dragon scales to stardust bread." A small alien child tugged at Zithara's robe. "Are you really from the stars?" the child asked in awe. Zithara knelt, her glowing eyes softening. "We all are, little one. Some of us just remember it more clearly." The child giggled, then ran off, clutching a glowing sweet given by the alien. As they continued their stroll, a vendor shouted, "Knight of the Kingdom, would you like a blade forged in the fires of Solaris?" The man waved a crimson sword that pulsed faintly. Alaric examined it with a smile, but shook his head. "I've sworn not to lift a blade unless it's for peace." Zithara tilted her head. "Strange words from a warrior," Alaric replied. "Strange times make for strange oaths." They passed a row of alien fruits that hovered gently in midair, rotating slowly in a dance of colors. Zithara handed one to Alaric. "Try this. It's called a vinoth. It tastes like memory." He bit into it, and for a moment he saw his homeland, the great green fields, the laughter of comrades lost to war. A tear formed in his eye. "You see," she said quietly, "in my world, we eat to remember. You humans eat to forget." They stopped before a craftsman's stall where trinkets of both worlds were displayed. Tiny silver knights standing beside crystal sculptures of Lurkai stars. A symbol of unity. Alaric picked up one, its form a human sword crossed with an alien glyph. "Who made this?" The craftsman smiled. "A human and a Lurkai, working together. Took them months to agree on the design." Zithara's gaze softened. Perhaps harmony is not so impossible after all. A sudden commotion broke out nearby. A thief darted past, snatching a merchant's bag. Instinctively, Alaric moved, his armor glinting as he pursued. The thief, a wiry alien youth, tripped. Alaric stood over him but did not draw his sword. "Let him go," said Zithara gently, arriving beside him. "He steals out of hunger, not malice." The merchant hesitated but then nodded, sighing. "Fine, take the bread and be gone." The youth looked up at them both, stunned by mercy, then fled. As the noise faded, Alaric looked at Zithara. "You could have stopped him with your mind tricks." "I could," she replied softly. "But I wanted him to learn compassion, just as you humans are learning now." Later they sat by a fountain of shimmering liquid light. Around them the market hummed with laughter and trade. Alien and human voices blended in a single rhythm. Children chased floating orbs of color while merchants bartered in mixed tongues. "This world," Alaric said, gazing at the crowd, "is becoming something new. Neither yours nor mine." "It's ours," Zithara corrected, "a creation born of trust." A group of musicians began to play. a blend of stringed human lutes and Lurkai resonance drums. The sound filled the plaza, deep and haunting, yet filled with joy. People began to dance, humans and aliens together. Cythera extended her hand. "Do humans dance?" Alaric smiled faintly. "Not as gracefully as your kind." "Then you shall learn." He took her hand. Under the twin moons, a knight and an alien spun slowly to the rhythm of the universe itself. Around them, old wounds began to heal, not with grand speeches, but through the simple act of shared laughter. As the song ended, the crowd cheered. Some whispered that this moment would be remembered for generations, that the market of Arath became the first true bridge between worlds. Cythera turned to Alaric, her voice soft but certain. "Perhaps peace begins not in treaties, but in the market." Alaric nodded. "And maybe harmony begins with a single walk." The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with violet and silver. The knight and the alien strolled onward, two figures among many, no longer divided by history, but joined by something greater, and as the stars appeared above, Arath breathed as one world in perfect quiet harmony. The night had settled over Arath, and the great market glowed beneath thousands of floating lanterns. Each lantern was different, some made of paper and flame, others filled with crystal light that hummed like soft thunder. They drifted through the air in lazy spirals, illuminating both human and alien faces with colors from every corner of the galaxy. Sir Alaric and Cythera walked side by side, their reflections shimmering in the silver stones of the marketplace path. Around them, vendors began closing their stalls, yet others stayed to join the great Feast of Unity, an event newly created since the peace treaty had been signed. "This festival," Cythera said, gazing at the lights, "was once held to honor victory. Now it celebrates understanding. It feels different." Alaric nodded, removing his helmet so the cool night air touched his scarred face. "Victory ends battles. Understanding ends wars." They stopped near a circle of storytellers. An elderly human bard sat cross-legged beside a Lurkai elder, both telling tales in alternating verses, one in song, the other in glowing glyphs that danced through the air. The crowd watched as the stories blended into one legend, a tale of two suns learning to share the same sky. As they listened, Cythera's gaze drifted upward. "Do your people still fear us, Alaric?" "Some do," he admitted. "Old wounds take time to close. I once believed all of your kind were monsters, until I met you." "And now?" she asked. "Now I see that monsters and heroes exist in every world." A moment of silence passed. The laughter of children echoed between them, half human, half alien, playing with floating crystals that glowed with each touch. Cythera watched them with quiet wonder. "Look at them," she whispered. "They have no memory of war. To them, our difference is a curiosity, not a barrier. That's what we fight for," Alaric said, "so they never have to choose between fear and friendship." Suddenly, a loud tremor shook the ground. The music stopped. Cries rose from the far end of the market as several stalls collapsed. From beneath the debris, a shadow moved, a mechanical creature, its body made of steel and rust, its eyes glowing red. "A relic from the machine wars," Alaric muttered. Drawing his sword, Cythera's body shimmered with biolight, her energy pulsing through her veins. "It must have awakened from the ruins beneath the city." The creature roared, its voice a broken echo of an ancient command. "Eliminate organic threats." Panic spread through the crowd. Humans and Lurkai fled together, pulling one another to safety. Alaric stepped forward, his blade gleaming. "We can't let it destroy this place. Too much has been built here." Cythera nodded. "Then we fight, not as human or Lurkai, but as one." She raised her hands, forming a glowing barrier of blue light as the machine fired a pulse of molten plasma. The blast struck the shield and scattered sparks into the night. Alaric dashed forward, his sword slicing through the machine's leg with a ringing cry. But the creature was massive. It swung its metallic arm, knocking Alaric to the ground. Sparks flared as his armor dented. Zithara screamed, sending out a pulse of energy that rippled through the air, distorting gravity itself. The machine staggered. Alaric pushed himself up, coughing, then hurled his blade into the creature's chest. "Now!" he shouted. Zithara focused her energy on the sword. It glowed with starlight, channeling her power through the steel. In an explosion of light and sound, the machine collapsed into fragments. The market fell silent. Smoke drifted through the air, lit by the floating lanterns. Slowly the people returned, staring in awe at the knight and the alien who stood together amid the wreckage. Alaric turned to Zithara. "You all right?" She smiled faintly, her glow dimming. "I am. You humans are sturdier than you look, and you aliens are stronger than I imagined." From the crowd, a child's voice called, "The heroes of the market." Applause rose, spreading like wildfire until the entire plaza echoed with cheers. For the first time, humans and Lurkai didn't just tolerate each other, they celebrated together. Later that night, as the fires dimmed and the stars returned, Alaric and Zithara sat beside the remains of the fountain. The water shimmered faintly, reflecting the lights above. "Do you think peace will last?" she asked softly. Alaric looked up at the stars. "If we keep walking side by side, maybe it will," Zithara smiled. "Then tomorrow we walk again." He raised his hand, offering his arm in the gesture of an ancient human vow. Together. She placed her glowing hand against his armor. Together. The wind carried their promise through the night, across the sleeping city, over the stars that watched silently above. And somewhere deep in the heart of Arath, a seed of true harmony began to grow, rooted in courage, trust, and the friendship between a knight and an alien.